I'm going to go through my favorite slides, which I've talked to probably between 12 and 17 times right now. I want to thank Midcap for providing this lovely template, and Charles Ludwig Dodgson is one of my favorite authors, and he's more known as the Lewis Carroll. And Alice in Wonderland is one of my favorite stories. This is why I'm keeping the presentation layer, but the content is going to be about migrations. Things that we're going to cover today would be use cases for content migration and import. We will do comparison of Feeds module and Migrate module. And then we're going to talk about benefits of having Feeds type UI on top of Migrate core and how everyone benefits it. We will do recorded demo of XML import and live demo of a couple of sites where we have Feeds Migrate module installed. And after that, I'll be happy to answer any questions you have. And we can always, all of us can go to the contribution sprint where Edmund Dunn is leading contribution sprint on Feeds Migrate. We're gonna have broken things because this is live demo and this computer is a dev computer. I'm still gonna do my pitch about why we're doing things. We are supporting organizations, and goal of the website is to support mission of organization. Websites change in the same way as organizations do. And we have lots of new content that's generated inside organization or outside. And we need, as web developers, to provide tools that allow to manage this content and move this content throughout in the most efficient way. We have two major cases. One is when we're having like a one-time migration, we're taking old site and moving everything with a new site. And this is where we have developed structure, which we simply want to move to a different container. Example would be if we're updating good, clean Drupal 7 site into Drupal 8, we don't want to redefine menus, we don't want to redefine architecture, we want to keep everything as is, and the only thing we want to have is new Drupal 8 instance as a backend. Different use case is when we have existing site where we need to bring in new content all the time. While we're bringing in this content, we might need to transform it. And these are components of migration. One of examples that we're going to be looking at today is importing events from different departments. And of course, we need to have it done by Monday, and it is Saturday, whatever, afternoon. So before we move on to actually doing the demo, I want to define what we're moving and how we're moving. So content can have different formats. It can come from different sources. It can be one-time or regular. And we want to be able to monitor state of the import and decide what we want to do with previously imported content. The tool set that we have right now for Drupal 8 and also for Drupal 9 is we have this wonderful one-click upgrade when you can click, and if you have clean Drupal 6 or 7 site that is very well defined, and all modules for conversions are available in Drupal 8, you click upgrade and everything has been moved. We did it for one site a couple of years ago and noticed lots of interesting challenges that we're still facing there. During these 2 years, lots of upgrade paths were added, but we're still, it works only on the very limited case. Migrate suite is in core now, and that is a huge change because now Migrate module is in core with all the process plugins that we call tampers in Feeds. And so we have all the code that we need to do parsing of the data already on any installation of Drupal. We have Feeds module that has great web interface designed for people that can build migrations, and also content editors can define source of migration. And these two modules have very different audiences. And of course, we can do custom scripts, and we're not going to talk about them today. So let's first talk about Migrate module. High-level overview. It is coded using YAML file. It is heavily using Drush, and it is targeted for developers. In Drupal 8, it has some limited UI if you install Migrate Tools and Migrate Plus, and you can't change anything in migrations with Migrate Suite, Migrate Tools, and Migrate Plus. You can execute migration because every migration has has destination defined in migration, and you can roll it back. And these tools you can do through UI. But because your destination is set in code, anytime when you want to change source of your information, you have to code whole new migration. So imagine we have migration that imports events from Stanford Events. It imports full information about events into department website. If we want to use the same migration for and move it from music department to physics department, we need to have a developer who will recode migration, put the different destination, and then we need to do the full update cycle, moving things from development to production. And therefore, it is extremely expensive. And lots of organizations don't have developers and staff to do that. Feeds module, on contrary, is designed for site builders, and we'll call it kind of non-developers, even though developers use Feeds heavily as well. It has the following features. It allows you to do mapping, transformation of your content. You can use different input formats. You can have sources both from files and from HTML sources, and you can schedule regular import. And your editors can configure source of migration. I can see how many people are in the audience right now. Who has worked with Feeds module before?
We have 4 participants, Irina.
If anyone does not know Feeds Migrate flow, please speak up because I can't see your raised hands. Anybody? So I would assume that everyone works with Feeds module workflow by now, and we're gonna move on to how we want to put Feeds UI, which looks like this, on top of Migrate engine. This was my pitch for lots of people in the hallways of various Drupal cons, and I think by now I convinced most of people that it is actually a very good idea. So now we only need to implement it. Why it is win-win solution for everyone, including developers, is that now instead of coding boring migrations, they can concentrate on developing advanced plugins, and they don't have to code every migration from scratch. So here's Feeds Migrate module. It is integrated with Migrate ecosystem, and we are reusing all the features that are provided by Migrate, Migrate Tools, and Migrate Plus. It works with existing migrations, and it works with any Drupal distribution. So now I'm gonna try to, so this is recording. This is how it works. So we have this XML file that we need to import. We're adding migration group in the same way like we would add migration group in out-of-the-box Drupal 8. The new big thing is that now we can actually add migration, which comes from Feeds Migrate module. We need to give it a group so we can find it later, and we can select where we're going to be uploading. We do very similar like we did in Feeds. Select where it goes, and then the next exciting new thing is, in addition to out-of-the-box migrate configuration, we now have mapping, and that is what Feeds UI allows you to do. So you can select which field is unique, and then we can save it. And then, very similar to how we do Feeds configuration, now we're adding importer, which used to be like Feeds importer, and this is Feeds Migrate importer. And then here we can select from any of the migration sources, including migration sources that were coded as a module. And then we just click save, and then our content is being very nicely imported. So familiar UI, and then we go to content, and we can see our data imported. Okay. So this is how it works. So let me do the next step is current state of Feeds Migrate, and I'm gonna get out of here and move into here. So this is where I'm gonna do the live demonstration of how we, so this is distribution that some people here are probably quite familiar with. Add migrate module, Feeds Migrate module, and now I can add my Feeds migrations. I can edit these migrations. I can change mapper. I can add mapping here if I want to, and select destination, say I want to add body. I will need to define all these plugins, and we can talk about it later. Here it is. And then if I want to run the import, I will say Feeds Migrate, and I will go here. I can add importer. And when I'm adding importer here, I will see all migrations that were defined at various stages. And then I run the import, and it is supposed to work. This is the demo of what you will see on existing migrations. So we ran the one-click upgrade. And here in the UI, I can see whatever plugins I defined, I can see them here. At this point, I don't have access to changing this plugin, and this is our main target for the sprint that is happening in another Zoom. The next important slide is help wanted. Sprint is happening still at 1 p.m. today. We have Feeds channel on Drupal Slack, we decided to open collective if somebody wants to sponsor development, and we invite everyone to download this module, put it on your Drupal installation, and see how you can benefit from it. These are three places where we need support, like authentication. That is something that we didn't start yet. There are a couple of related core issues. If somebody is interested in working on them, that would be great. And this is, now I have a couple of my, oops, have I lost it? Sorry. And this is one of my favorite slides. I want to thank avantgarde developers who started this module and supported it for several years now. I want to invite you to contribute to Drupal, and I want to say special thank you to Yuri, who joined us on the call. Yuri, thank you very much. Yuri, Yuri is maintainer of Feeds, and I'm very happy that he's leading technical part of this development. Thank you very much again.
Hey, you're welcome. I'm just joining in to see what happens here now.
Thank you. My presentation was very short because most of people here are very familiar with both Migrate and with Feeds. So if you guys have any questions, I would love to answer them. And then we can join Edmund Dunn, who is doing Sprint on another Zoom. Any questions, Sean? I'm not sure if Sean is there. Is he there?
Yeah, he's here.
Yeah. Hi. Cool stuff.
Hello.
Hello.
Any questions?
Nope.
Anything useful for you?
Yeah, well, so one of the things I sort of noticed as you're going through it is that there are several steps that may not be terribly obvious to the first person trying the feeds. Like you have to, create the group and create the migrate and create the source and create the import, and like there's a lot of steps involved there. And so I'm thinking something like a wizard that'll step you through those steps would be nice. I think it would be. I guess with some documentation it would be good, but it would be confusing for somebody who is sort of looking at it for the first time to know what all the things are that you'd have to do in order to get your stuff in there.
I believe it's very similar to Feeds module.
Yeah, in Drupal 7, Feeds was sort of all in one place, and there was a lot there too. So you're right, there were a lot of steps, but yeah, I mean, it's good to have the documentation.
We do have documentation, we do have testing, and I think the only difference is from Feeds is that it has these groups. That is the only one slightly confusing step. We also have an option to add migration in one step. We don't need to do 2 clicks, but I wanted to go through details. And it is very, very similar to creating content type and then creating actual content. Because this way you separate, it's like your editors create nodes, right? But they don't create content types. Does it make sense?
Yes. Right.
Was it reasonably clear from my presentation, or I managed to squish it? So
no, it was clear to me. I mean, I know all the steps and the things to do. So I'm wondering what happens when you put it. Have you put it in front of, say, someone more like an editor, not someone who generally creates content types?
Let me show you what the editor will see, because
okay.
Editor will not see. So Yuri just pushed the permissions to the module after a sprint at mid-camp, right, Yuri? So if
No, it was not committed yet.
Okay, but it's there. I think it's, well, Sean, it's for testing. If anybody on your team wants to test it, that would be terrific. So what editor will see, they will see exactly the same thing that they see for media library or for content. They will see Feeds Migrate here. So when they go under Content tab, there will be Feeds Migrate, and then they click here and they click Add Importer. And this is the only screen that they see. So they're adding new import or whatever. They pick migration that has been preset for them in the similar way like it was, I'm thinking what would be a good analogy. Like if you're adding node of a particular content type, you need to know what you're adding, right? So it's a similar level of complexity. And here I'm saying, okay, I want to add an importer. I pick migration source, and then they can upload file, or they can put in URL, and that's it. I don't even know if they will be changing this stuff. Definitely they're not changing destination. And then they save. And this is actually a very good point. There is a ticket for that, allowing you to say save and import in the similar way like we have it for feeds. So for feeds, if I am adding new importer, right? If I'm adding a feed, that's Yuri, that's actually an interesting point. Maybe this UI will work better.
I think the UI for the editors will definitely change. We're just focusing on getting the
Functionality
stuff set up in the first place.
Right. So
if I wizard thing is an
go ahead.
It's an idea I have in my mind as well to get that more clear for new users.
Hey, did you mention how you run it, Irina?
Run like importer?
Well, when you have it all set up, I know in Drupal 7 there was like another special page. You just click import, or
right. So
have it all how do you run your migration?
Like this. I click.
So that's
click, yeah. And it actually works.
Okay, and then you also have an option to delete. Okay.
Yes, I can roll back.
That's nice.
The great thing is that this picks up migration. So this picks up migrate. Migrate stuff. So we don't have like feed migrate doesn't have to build separate thing for that. Let me see if I rolled back. So it says, well, I've never seen anything here. And then if I run import, so if tools are available in Migrate, then we're trying to make sure that they are available for Feeds Migrate as well.
So why does the item say 0?
Because it's a bug.
Oh, okay.
So there's lots of bugs right now.
So once it's a little further in development, then that'll reflect the current number of items. So
Yep.
how can we help? Is this what the sprint is about, this software?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, Rena, is it possible to schedule migrations so that they happen repeatedly?
It's Yuri, thank you for being here so you can answer when and how we want to implement it, because this is one of the feeds features that we want in Feeds Migrate as well.
We don't have a lot of features yet ported from Feeds module. We're just focusing on getting we are at the point of getting the mapping configuration done.
Right, so
getting process plugins, make it possible to configure process plugins, if you know what these are.
right. So process plugins are basically replacing tempers, or it's the same thing. Like, I don't know if they're replacing or I don't know what's going to be actually happening, but this is where we need most help right now with coding. We also need all kind of help with testing things and confirming that everything works. But this is where tempers will come. So here right now we have default value, and this is where you should be able to say, oh, I want whatever feeds tempers are exist now. So here where I have feeds import mapping, so here I don't think I have temper enabled here, but we have like maybe 12 tempers now, and in Drupal 7 we have more like 50. So the hope was that once this plugin factory, this one plugin factory is coded, then all the process plugins that are available with Migrate can be populated here.
Not quite exactly, because for every process plugin, a form UI must be written, and that's not the case for tempers, because these already have form UI code built in. So only some process plugins will be available at some point, and not all automatically.
Okay, does it answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay. So if we don't have any big questions here now, I would love to invite everyone to move into the sprint with admin, because I don't know how many people are there. And I'm happy to tell you what kind of testing we would like to have now. I'm sure that if Cassie can look at this module.
I just want to say thank you to you, Irina, and to Yuri for all your hard work on this. I think this is the kind of thing that keeps our community strong and our software, going forward. And I think this is really great that you guys are doing this. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks. So what's our plan? Should we close this Zoom and move to another Zoom?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. All right. So everyone is invited. So I'm going to leave meeting, and then I'm going to join on the admin's Zoom. Okay.
Okay.
Yuri, thank you so much for coming so late. I really, really, really appreciate it. It makes a huge difference. Thank you. Yuri is in Utrecht.
Where?
Utrecht?
Netherlands.
Netherlands. Cool.
Okay.
So it's nearly bedtime for me. So I'm not staying for too long.
So, but thank you so much for coming. And next Thursday, I will definitely see you at a more reasonable time. And now we're moving to the other Zoom where Edmund hopefully is there. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
see you guys see you in a minute. Thanks.
Right.
See you in a minute.
See you.